Hello, everyone. My name is Adez, and I want to tell you something many people don't say out loud anymore. Marriage can work, not the perfect fairy tale kind, but the kind two imperfect people fight to build every single day. When I married my husband, he was not a perfect man. He was a good man with potential, but potential is not the same thing as character. And character is something that must be built, shaped, and protected. I still remember the early days of our marriage. We were young, broke, and sometimes confused about life. Our apartment was small, the furniture didn't match, and our bank account often looked like a joke. But what we lacked in money, we made up for in determination. We made a promise to each other. Not a promise of perfection, but a promise of respect. I told him one thing very clearly when we started our journey. I will stand beside you, but never beneath you. And he understood that. My husband today is the kind of man many women pray for. He does not womanize. He does not raise his hand in anger. He does not walk with arrogance like the world owes him something. But let me tell you the truth most people hide. He was not always that man. He grew into that man, and I grew with him. There were moments I had to sit him down and say, the way you speak to me matters. There were times I had to remind him, respect is not something you give only when you're happy. Sometimes he listened immediately. Sometimes it took time. Sometimes we argued, laughed, and learned all in the same day. Marriage is not two perfect people meeting. It is two people choosing to become better together. One of my favorite memories was our first holiday. We could not afford fancy hotels or expensive flights. Instead, we packed a small bag, drove for hours, and stayed in a tiny guest house near the ocean. That night, we ate street food, laughed until our stomachs hurt, and watched the waves under the moonlight. He looked at me and said, "One day we will build something bigger than this."
Years later, that same dream turned into reality.
We worked side by side. We saved money together. We started small businesses together. We failed sometimes and started again. Brick by brick, decision by decision, and again, not only ourselves, but for our children. We stayed awake planning our future, or the days we struggled but refused to quit. Here is the truth I want every couple to hear. You can build together, but only if both people are willing to grow. Do not try to build with a man who dreams of polygamy in his heart. Do not build with someone who believes love means control. Do not build with a woman whose intentions are full of manipulation and selfish motives. Building together requires two honest hearts. And my husband always tells people something that makes me laugh. My wife didn't marry a finished man. She married a man under construction. And maybe that's true. But I also married a man willing to be built. And that is the difference. So to every couple listening to my story today, don't search for perfection. Search for someone who values respect, growth, and partnership. Because when two people decide to grow together, they don't just build a marriage, they build a legacy. Bye.